All right. Good
Morning.
morning. Mm. All right. Well, it's the morning show. It's the morning stream with with Craig and Baba Robert.
Yeah. Baba reminds me of baby, so
Oh, well, maybe not. We don't want
I
to call
think it's
him.
what I used to call my oldest daughter when we had these pet names for our first child. Called her Baba, Baba Ganoush, crazy stuff like that. Good
Oh,
times.
let's see. Let me get my. So we can get a little bit of light in here. Mm.
Babushka was another name. We
Oh
called her
yeah.
that until our Romanian neighbor said Babushka means old woman in Romanian. So
Babushka. Yeah, no, I've always liked that. All right. So let's see.
Excuse me.
Starting. Oh, no problem. Let's see. So starting to see what's going on today. Maybe I'll share my little screen here to make it easy. So we're live here. So let's see what's going on this morning in the great market. I'm kind of just waking up to the world here. Let me share.
Five minutes to New York Open.
Yeah.
If I was gonna say what it might do, it's probably gonna go up for a bit and then dump fairly hard. Would be my best guess.
So we got the 2-minute candles there. We're right there. We're just getting ready. 5 minutes to the open. Yeah, got Top Step. It's funny, I don't see anything in Top Step X this morning. It's weird. Oh wait, it's up there. There it is. So how are we on the lines here? The need to fire up my little settings. So we are yesterday's high. Wow, so how can we be above yesterday's high?
Yesterday's value area high.
Oh, okay. Fire up settings again. So, okay, yesterday's value area high. All right, that looks orangey.
Yeah, I have mine yellow. I've changed some of them just because I want to get used to the different colors.
I know. So that looks like yesterday's high, but I guess it really couldn't be.
Well, actually, it could be because
yeah.
the session opens at 3 p.m. Pacific, which was actually on Thursday. So we're still in that same day.
Oh, it makes sense. There it is.
Speaking, so.
Okay, so this makes more sense. Now, looking at the 30-minute, we can see that, yeah, yesterday's high. And so we're looking at, these being a little bit more, I guess, in the 30-minute. So yesterday's high, and now we're at, we're kind of sitting on, I guess that would be, yesterday's high. So what's, I need to make my colors bolder.
Yesterday's high was 20,537.
Yeah.
So quite a bit above where we are now.
And so there that is. Yeah. So let's see. And that looks like this color. But yesterday's high is up here. So yeah, that must be, you're right. Yesterday's value area high. So we're sitting on it. We're opening the day kind of just sitting on it. And below that is the settlement. So, we're above the VWAP there in the 30-minute. So it's all about what is going to happen. We're getting ready to open, seeing a little bit of volatility there. Let's see. I see it starting to jitter.
Yeah. Wait till New York Open. It will really jitter.
Yeah. And then we've got our little order book here. So yeah, what's going to happen? This is exciting. Looking at the chart here. I go down to like 15 seconds so we can really see what's going on.
One of the things to really keep in mind about New York Open is what's the 5 and 8 moving averages, their position on the 2-minute. So 2 minutes is a really crucial time frame. If you look at yesterday, the price was already rolling over, like, 10, 15 minutes before New York opened, maybe 10 minutes. And then when the news came out, or actually when Powell started speaking, it dumped, I think. So there was some kind of news event yesterday that caused the market to dump pretty heavy. So it dumped off New York open and went down quite a bit, and then finally offered up a nice long reversal. So today it's a little bit sketchy just because the price had been basically going up since 1 o'clock in the morning, which is just right around London open. So they decided to start buying this around London open and pump the price up from about 240s all the way up to where it is now, almost 20,400.
Yeah, and 20,000 is kind of a psychological level. Those
Yeah, it is, but you have to remember the NASDAQ has been to just a few points shy of 21,000 already as the all-time high. So the $20,000 price point doesn't have quite as much weight as it used to, as far as psychologically.
Oh, and there goes the open, I think.
Oh. Yep, there it is.
All right, let's see. Oh, well, there goes all those. There goes the longs. They're all dead now. Well, there, on the 2-minute candle here, there is the 75 moving average right there. I need to make that bolder so people can actually see it, like along with me, so I can actually see it.
Yeah.
Make you a little bigger. There we go. See, I wonder if we'll wick down or bounce off that, if we're going to open low. I mean, open to the downside, upside, whatever. Let's see what happens. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. There we go.
Yep.
It's like, oh, there's John. I'll let him in. Yeah, it's like I feel like Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's like I heard, thousands or millions of longs, cry out, and suddenly they were silent.
Stopped out or forced underwater.
Yep.
Yeah, a little bit tricky to trade this right now.
Oh, I know. Yeah, where's it going to turn around? Let's see. Maybe I'll go to the. So we know what it's doing here. I haven't really looked at the 30-minute. 30-minute. How's that trending today? The 30-minute, we've got a little indecisive. I mean, 30-minute MACD. The tangent is kind of losing a little bit of energy there. RSI 30 minutes not looking too hot. Trendillo squeeze is still green. Yeah, it's a tough one. 30-minute is below the 5 moving average, but above the 10. It's the 30-minute. Actually, it's flirting with that 75 moving average right there. So, I'm not really, don't quite have a really great read off the 30-minute right now, but going to like the 15-second candles. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Definitely giving a lot back. Are we seeing a round bottom here? The MACD on the 15-second. Kind of. I wonder about that tangent. When you see that tangent make a nice change there on the MACD. I know it's just 15 seconds, but still.
One thing we noticed through backtesting was that you can trade the Trendillo, red or green, especially on the longer time frames, longer than 15 seconds, of course. But you can basically trade 2-minute or 5-minute Trendillo green. Say when it just barely starts to turn green, if the other indicators agree that it's going to go up more, you can just basically take the trade Get a good entry using 15-second candles based on what you're seeing on the 2-minute or 5-minute, and make money. It's pretty consistent.
Yeah. Yeah, that's especially when you start comparing the different different candles, different like. That's the thing I haven't quite seen. I'm not quite the Pine scripter to really know how to do that yet, but I'd love to be able to, have it where it's, like it has the 30 has to line up, the 5, the 2, the 15. If you could take all that into account, I think it would be pretty cool. I'm just not quite that much of a Pine script Jedi yet,
Yeah.
Well, it's working its way up. It's riding that 5 moving average up. This is the 15-second candle. Hopefully my optimism is not shattered.
Well, the 2-minute, 5 and 8 have rolled over. They did that about maybe 8 to 10 minutes before New York Open. We'll say 8 just to be clear. So it is pretty choppy. It's probably going to chop around in there as they scalp it, short and long both. I wouldn't be surprised if the 2-minute candles turn into a kind of a bar coding type of a formation. Up, down, up, down.
Woof.
Definitely get wrecked on both ends if you're not careful. I think it's going to go down more. Yep, there it goes. So the Trindillo needs to turn red on the 2-minute, which it's doing now, starting to. And then we'll get some kind of a price consolidation, maybe around possibly in the low 320s. That's where I would suspect, which is basically former resistance. That would become now support. So if we can get into the 320 area, 322, we might be able to actually, see some kind of confirmation for a long position. But we'll see. That would be my first point of interest. Below that, probably looking at mid to high 280s. So yeah, about 280, 282 to 286 is support below that. But yeah, it's coming down.
Woo, sure is. So we do have some kind of support there.
Yeah, which it just broke.
Yeah, it's definitely, yeah. Yeah, it's giving it, it's good. It can get this out of its system. Boom, boom, boom. All the indicators just trending down. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they just dump the market and speed up the process to get to the point to where they can all go long. So
yeah,
wishful thinking, but it does happen.
Oh, it does.
Fairly often. Maybe 2 days out of 5.
Let's see. I wonder how that guy. It's dump. 15 seconds. How's that looking?
It's looking scalpable, but it's moving fast.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of like maybe the 2-minute a little bit better right now. Wait till I see some action there. I wouldn't really long or short right now. It's just sort of, who knows. I wonder how other things are doing this morning. Like, how is like Microsoft doing? Yeah, Microsoft's got a little bit of bounce to it this morning. Definitely some Wild price action there. Apple, whoa, opened with a gap. And definitely Apple's starting the day kind of perky. NVIDIA, NVIDIA looks like the NASDAQ.
Yeah, NVIDIA is bleeding. So NVIDIA
Yeah,
is the biggest influencer on the NASDAQ, number one.
yeah.
It overtook Apple, a while ago, a few months ago. Apple's number 2. I think Microsoft is number 3, Google number 4. Possibly Meta is number 5. I'll have to verify that, but don't quote me on that. So Meta is actually going up right now.
Oh, Meta, okay.
Which is kind of interesting.
So GameStop having a good morning. Took off.
Yeah.
How is gold futures this morning? A little up. Silver.
I was happy to see crude around $67 a barrel this morning.
Really?
Yep.
Let's see, where is I know that's somewhere here.
So people are saying, let's see how much time it takes for the price to be reflected at the pumps.
I know.
It might take a little time, like a few days, but it has to stay down, basically.
Yeah.
If you look at crude on like the 30-minute, there is kind of a rounded structure where it started kind of going down last night. Well, it was kind of chopping up and down. The bottom was actually Thursday, yesterday morning. Went down to just dip below $67. But the price was quickly pushed up.
That's wild. Crude. Yeah, crude's not looking too hot this morning. Below the 75 moving average.
Another low.
The indicators are pretty. The indicators kind of show that on the 30-minute. Like you got your MACD rolling over and
kind of bearish.
Yeah. Wow. I know it's like stock up while you can get it.
Yeah. In where I live, gas is anywhere between $3.50 and $4 a gallon, depending on which station you go to. But yesterday, I managed to get gas $2.89 a gallon.
Oh wow!
So
that's pretty good if you can get it. Yeah, there we go.
Pretty happy about that. The only thing I noticed this very consistently, is if I buy cheap gas, like really, really cheap, cheapest in town, the projected miles that show up on my car after filling the tank all the way up to the spout are less than if I fill the tank up using more expensive gas. Now, does the car know if the gas is so-called watered down? I'm not sure, but for some reason it just doesn't. It doesn't give me the 310 or 315 mile range once it's full.
That's interesting. So yeah, I'm not sure how much the computer knows. I mean, I know that like that fuel economy, like we used to see it, like it would be performance on the performance cars and like economy on the economy cars. Like I think you might have seen that all the way into like the 90s or something, but that was just a vacuum gauge, when your engine has the max vacuum, it's the max efficiency. And then when you like I have an old vehicle and I have a vacuum gauge in there. And if I drive around town and keep it in that sweet spot, like where it's max vacuum, which means just I can get a couple extra miles a gallon, but that's that's fine either way. But it's cool to have a vacuum gauge. But then also, I don't know how smart the car is. I don't know if it can actually read the octane level, and I don't know. If it could read the octane level, maybe then it would make a difference. I mean, the modern vehicle is pretty impressive. I mean, I prefer my 60s and 70s, early 70s cars, but I am impressed by stuff. I mean, it is neat. It's just not, it just doesn't have longevity. It doesn't, it's like, I think, it's a shame. Like, I think many cars built today are just, in the future, we won't have car shows with 2024, Jeep Cherokees in them.
That's true. I don't think we will.
No, because it's like the parts are too expensive. They're like uh, I I have a 2004 F-150 and I love that old thing, and it's slightly computerized. I mean, I wouldn't call it has really a computer, but all the same, you know, I don't know what the year cutoff is, maybe like 2010, 2015, where I think cars will just all hit the junkyard when they get to a certain extent, certain age, like when the computer goes out, which isn't really a computer, but when it goes out, you just trash the car. It's kind of like a lot of the electric cars right now. If the battery totally dies, it's like, it's garbage, you know. Let's
Yeah, the
see.
batteries usually don't die on electric cars, they degrade.
Mm-hmm.
So the cells slowly die off, a portion of them. I had a Nissan Leaf that
Oh
it
wow.
only had a 115-mile range when it was brand new. By the time it had close to 100,000 miles on it, it had like a 80, maybe an 86,000-mile range.
Wow.
Sorry, 86-mile range
86
instead of,
miles. Yeah.
instead of 115-mile range. So it was kind of hardly worth it anymore.
No, I get it. I love all the new stuff. I like it. But I hang out with my old 70s stuff, But I like how the Teslas in their little uh, little computer screen they have, where people see like ghosts and stuff. They see like it's kind of neat. I mean, I can't tell you if it might all be just a farce and not true, but there's a lot of like YouTubes and such you'll see of that, of people who like drive through a cemetery or down an old road or something like that, and its little system will like, it shows the pedestrians, it shows people. I guess it has that AI to identify,
Yeah.
and they'll be like, there's no one in the field, but it'll show this person walking along. The Tesla will see it. It's really something. Could be.
But how does it pick it up? Is it a heat sensor, or is
I
it
don't.
infrared, or
I don't know
is there a
how it
key?
works. It's very curious. I really don't know how it works. The 15-second here. Are we getting some kind of action here?
I'm looking
I
at
think
1 minute, and it's acting like it wants to come up here.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
would
I
have
mean, we
liked
could,
to have gotten in and low 320, because this is definitely support. This was the area I was talking about where it kind of acted like it's bouncing at 322.
yeah.
So I
Like,
might just actually take a long here.
whoa. Yeah, you can kind of see like a parallel channel. You can see a channel kind of like that. And
Yeah.
are we, on the 15-second, like, are we going to break on top of that channel and find support there? Also, in the 15-second, we're crossing that 75 moving average.
Yeah. I went long there.
If I look at the 2 minute, oh my goodness. Yeah, I might be a
Two
little bit
minute, 5
risky.
and 8 are just about ready to cross. It's probably going to come down a little bit, but it looks bullish on the 2 minute.
Yeah, in the 2 minute, yeah, it's got to challenge that 75 moving average. It's looking kind of good. Oh yeah, and there was this thing that I did. If I adjust my chart, if I make it, 2 minute candles here, and I guess you could do it with any candle length really, but if I make my 10 and 8, and let's see, looking at 2 minute candles here, and I pull a little bit of time in here, and I fire that up. Where is it? Yeah, boom. It just shows the 5 and the 8 moving average crosses, which is kind of neat,
Yeah.
Buy,
You
sell,
can
buy,
also
sell.
make the candles invisible, or some of
Mm,
them, so you can see behind the candles
mm.
what's kind of going on there. Yeah, hollow candles. Then you can see
Yeah.
that the green candles become invisible for me, or transparent, I mean. So now we're kind of coming up here.
Oh yeah. Now we're pushing it. Yeah. There we go. Oh, and there you go. There's a 2 minute cross. I mean, a 2 minute candle, 5 and 8 cross. Boom. See, there's my little buy signal. And it's pushing. If it gets past that 75 moving average, we'll be like, sky's the limit.
Yep, just took profit, 240. Not a bad little trade. I kind of front ran it, so I'm gonna wait for the moving averages to really kind of start turning. They're crossing right now on the 2 minute. So the 2 minute is a really important time frame to try to get good entries. And plus, I'm not sure if this is going to really play out. I think it is. The only thing is it's playing out pretty quickly. So it's probably going to come back down into the 320s, I think. Or very low 330s. Because it's going to get pretty quickly overbought on the 15-second. So the 15-second is turning Trendillo green. Trying to. Yep, just turn green.
Oh, now it's going to take off. Yeah, I made a little on that one. I wasn't quite sure. I think if it goes up and then finds support on that 75 moving average, I'd feel a little bit more secure.
On the 2 minute?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually crossing the 75 right now.
Yes. But yeah. Oh, and that MACD is getting on the 2 minute candle. The MACD is working on
crossing. Yeah, it looks
crossing.
good.
Yeah. So the tangent's up. And I always notice that like the further you go down in the MACD, the further you go, below that heartbeat, when you get, I call the heartbeat like right here, when you do these nice dips, always end up being a lot of velocity. Well, they can be,
Yeah, absolutely.
We're watching.
You're right. One thing I was going to ask you, Craig, is, and this is just for the sake of the other 2,500 people that are watching.
Yeah.
Is Rips has, first of all, a group. You can subscribe to it and get like more information. You can follow him other times during the day besides just the little 45 minutes to an hour or so that he does his live YouTube feed on weekdays. But there's also a moderator they call SW, who basically talks about his strategy. SW is one of the top, I don't know, probably top 10 traders on the leaderboard for Top Step X. So it's $7 for a week, and that's the trial. After that, it's $75 a week.
Woo.
Or $175 a month. And I think it might be worth it to to get into that, because I did a 1 week trial here about, I don't know, 4 months ago, and SW wasn't yet doing stuff with Rips, I don't think. So I really didn't get much out of it. But yeah, he does do live. And see, also, you don't have the 7 or 8 second delay, like you do on YouTube when you're in Discord.
Oh, gotcha.
It's live, truly live. So I'm going to probably join that again and see if I can make, just add some new things to my strategies. And there's always a different point of view that you can add to your arsenal of, trading knowledge or.
Oh, yeah.
The thing about Rips is he's a pretty consistently successful trader, but his average hold time is under 3 minutes. So he's a scalper. He stretches his screen out. He's looking at Bookmap and, using that to kind of see where the price is going to go, where the big orders are. So, but SW, this other guy who actually started out as a mod for Rips, he has a totally different take on the whole thing. So,
no, that's cool.
Anyway,
SW, did you have like a link for him, or?
I don't have a link for SW. Well, actually, I do. Yeah, his.
Because even like at $75 a week, which sounds like a lot, but or even like the 170 a month, that's like, if you get one profitable trade, if you gain a profitable trade that month, then you made your money. It's like, yeah, when you're high rollers like us, it isn't that much money.
Yeah, it's true. On Discord, SW is SW2170.
Okay.
So he's a moderator and he does stuff in Clubhouse Premium, which is the the group that you pay for.
Okay.
But if you haven't yet been a member, you can be a member on a trial, full member for $7 for a week.
And so, what was his handle again on Discord?
SW2170.
Okay, SW. I'll make a note of that. Discord. I always wish Discord wasn't so goofy.
Yeah, Discord in a lot of ways is better than Telegram because there's so many scammers on Telegram.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's just kind of like a
Discord. Yeah, it's like I think originally way back in the day when somebody thought it up, unless they had a very futuristic vision, Discord was like for gamers, I think mostly, and that's fine. But yeah, it does work. It does work. I mean, it's out there. It's kind of like one of those anvils that wears out a lot of hammers. It just sticks around.
Yeah, good analogy.
Yeah. I sometimes feel like I'm like logging into like a 1996 message board or something.
I was actually on the internet and I think I got on in 94. It's a very different internet, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Dial-up modems.
Mm-hmm.
I had a 386 16 megahertz.
Yes. Yeah.
16 megahertz CPU in that thing. And I had a dot matrix printer that came with it. It was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
But I started with a 14.4K modem.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to 28, and that still wasn't really that great. I had one megabyte of internal memory that was built into the motherboard. And then I remember my roommate said, "Hey, Robert, let's go in on some RAM so we can actually, get this."
Yeah.
What was that? Remember what that channel was, or the website that was called, where you could meet people and stuff? There was like only one big one. Anyway, they put in these pictures, and if the photo was over like 30K, it wouldn't load on that PC. So we went in on 4 sticks of 1 meg each. Cost us $110, so like $55 a piece. Added it to the motherboard, and then my roommate went in and removed unnecessary pieces of Windows 3.1, I think.
Yep, 3.1. Yeah.
It was 3 or 3.1. And then the computer worked properly and actually would download 50, 60, 70K photos. So, but I met people from all over the world. I met a lady from New Zealand. She actually visited me at my house.
Oh, wow.
She met a guy on an airplane that was from Roseburg, like 60, 70 miles south of where I live, which is really ironic. So, but yeah, pretty amazing.
Yeah, back in the day, I remember that. I think my first computer was it was a 486 with like, I think 4 mega memory. It was a 486, 33 megahertz processor, and it had like, I think 4 or 8 megabytes of memory or something like that. Yeah, and it was like my first ISP was AOL, and then I got like a regular ISP, and gosh, just setting up the whole modem was quite the trip to, get online. But yeah, I think 94 or 96, somewhere in there, 89, 94, probably somewhere in there. It's between 94 and 96, I hopped on, and there we go. It really was not much of a run. It looked like it might do something, but it didn't. So now we went back to cell, like the 5 and the 8 cross negative, which is kind of one of those, didn't quite get, I guess there was a little bit of money to be made, but it didn't quite get that energy to go anywhere. And now we're going to see this thing. Is it going to get dumpy now? Wow, this is really a cloudy morning.
Yeah, in fact, my feeling that uptick was so quick that it was just going to be temporary was correct. So I'm glad I got out when I did. I got out a little bit too early, but
Yeah.
still, 240 bucks
Oh,
is good.
that's good. I'm watching that 15-second tangent on the MACD. It's not quite there. It's given a lot back. Just a matter of, well, actually, now it's only 15-second candles, of course, but we are looking at, a previous bounce spot. Maybe that's our magic spot to bounce. I don't know.
One thing that's notable, Craig, is it's
Yep.
probably going to come down more because the 5-minute Trendillo is right on the edge of turning red. In fact, it was trying to just at the bottom of that last 5-minute wick. So I think it is going to go red. It pretty much has to come down a little more. So I think we might come down into the 290s.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Before it actually starts to, because it's just not ready to go up on the 5-minute yet. That little green candle on the 5-minute was just a temporary relief, and then it's still within the parameters of the diagonal support and resistance areas.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, on that great indicator.
On the trend lines with breaks.
Yeah, trend line was with breaks. Yeah, so we're, wouldn't exactly long it yet or short it, just kind of hanging out.
Yeah, it is scalpable though. I mean, but you have to be really careful because if you would have scalped that last 15-second candle, it just quickly puts you underwater, and then now it's going back up again. So if you're gonna scalp, you have to pretty much not use a stop loss, which kind of makes it risky trading. But this is why I'm not scalping 15-second candles right now.
Yeah.
Mainly because it needs to come down more. So.
Yeah, it's just hanging out.
This is a little temporary uptick thing, I think. So one of the things, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I've noted over and over and over again that the stochastic momentum really gives you a good picture of how much upside you're going to have on basically any time frame. So say, for example, if you're looking at 15-second candles and you're trying to go long, scalping, and the price doesn't really move that much to the upside, but the stochastic momentum moves from the bottom to the top of the range. That means that it's probably just going to be a limited run, and you better choose your exit carefully and get out instead of trying to ride this. Now, if this little upward move we're in now does turn into anything, I'm going to be a little bit surprised.
Yeah.
15-second is trying to turn green in Trendillo right now.
Yeah, you can see it's trying to. You can see it there. It wants to go green.
Yeah, just tried to go green and started to come out of it, and we'll see.
Yeah, and on the 15-second, it's also right there on the 75 moving average. So it's really it's sticky, but it's below the 5 and the 10.
The 2 minutes dropping down to the downside, so it's not in a bullish kind of a setup. Anything a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's just not exciting. Although, I think just looking from that long perspective, like the longer the MACD stays down there below the heartbeat and goes nice and deep, usually the better. Because, I always look at the MACD, and when you look at like nice moves, like when you went low, came back out, you can see this nice, move that you get after that, when it takes a nice deep dive for a while. Like it doesn't always play out, but like here, you can kind of see it. It made a move there, and then this didn't. It didn't quite play out as massive. But sometimes you really get these great moves. So, yeah, the longer the MACD stays down there, I'll be kind of happy because it'll probably just be a nice explosive reaction, maybe when it starts to move up. Like there's a positive tangent. We'll see what
Now
happens.
we do have a W pattern that just formed on the 2-minute.
Look at that. Boom, 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 boom for like win. Look at that. W pattern.
Yeah, so it is short-term bullish right now.
On the 2.
Yep, on the 2-minute. Now if we get if it does make a higher high, or it breaks that last high at 396, probably gonna run, but it's not ready yet. What I'm looking for is the 5-minute to really start to get into the right type of shape, right kind of formation, where it's actually showed the bottom, starts to come back up again, chops around, but has a kind of a average overall, like a U-shaped pattern. Where it's coming down, kind of flattens out, and then starts to go back up on the right side. So of course that's any good bullish formation is gonna, have a drop first and then smoothing and then start to go up.
Yeah.
The 5-minute's just not quite there yet.
Yeah.
Pretty choppy.
Yeah, it sure is. It's a tough one to read this morning. I wonder how's Bitcoin doing this morning? Oh, look at that on the 5-minute candles. It made a nice strong move this morning. Indicators look okay, so we'll see how little Bitcoin does today. Let's see. Is it still riding that overall? Still kind of overall uptrend. I think it's playing with that level right there. See if it does a breakout. But looks good. 30-minute chart looks pretty good this morning for Bitcoin. I think we're getting ready to see a positive MACD tangent there. Cross. We'll see. MACD more. Bitcoin more bullish than bearish this morning. We'll see how it rolls.
Yeah. So ES and NASDAQ look pretty similar. The YM, which is the Dow Jones, is taken off on 1-hour candles. It's been going up for 3 hours, 2 hours. 1, 2, 3. Brand new candle. So yeah, take a look at YM on the 1-hour. Pretty nice.
Let's see. YM.
Yep. YM1 exclamation point.
Oh, the minis. Okay. Mini Dows. Oh, that looks pretty. Let me go back to the these guys. Yes. Nope, I want the YM. Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, power. Those are power candles. If you change those to volume candles, you can see how much volume, especially the second to the last candle, had a lot of volume. Because the bigger ones are fat. You want me to show you real quick on my
Sure, yeah.
chart? Okay. All right. So here's the YM on 1-hour candles. So I changed the volume candles, and you can see this one here, how big it is.
Wow, look at that.
It's recently turned Trendillo green on the 1-hour, which is kind of a big deal. The 4-hour looks bullish.
Yeah, wow.
30-minute Trendillo has been green for about an hour and a half. So yeah, YM is really performing. So to go to hollow candles or volume candles, I just go here.
Okay.
A little to the right of the candles, there's a little downward caret. And you just go, show me hollow candles, so I can see the moving averages behind the
Oh, wow.
type of
Okay.
candles where it crosses, and then you just change back here to normal candles, or you can go to volume candles.
Oh, I like that. And like
And
the
the
fatter
fatter
the
the
can.
candle, the more volume it has. As you can see,
Wow.
compare the volume bars. Also makes the volume bars fat when you have big volume. So
Oh, I
yeah,
like it.
it's really catching some volume. I
Wow,
don't know what
dude.
the biggest influencers on the Dow Jones are, but um, I think they called it the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So they're, industrial companies, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not
Maybe
sure who
some
is
war
now.
machine company took off. Who knows?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, they're doing great business right now, so.
Oh, yeah, it's a cottage industry, totally. War.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I know.
Big money, loss of lives, collateral damage, no problem.
Oh,
Just get
yeah.
the money, right?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. And yeah. I don't think they even really figure in collateral damage anymore. That was kind of back. I think that went out in the 70s. They're
70s and
like,
80s thing, yeah, you're
yeah,
right. They don't
they're
even
just like,
talk about it anymore. They
they
just
just
say,
turn.
oh, nobody's getting killed except the bad guys, right?
Yeah, they were all. Yeah,
The
if
other.
you die, if you die, you were a militant. You're a terrorist. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, the whole thing is sad because in philosophy, the idea of the other
Hmm.
is basically how you demonize another person or another group through just basically propaganda, speaking negatively
Mm-hmm.
about them, making up stories. This is where terrorism came from. The idea of
Hmm.
terrorism is the philosophical idea of the other, like, oh, we're better than them. They're extremists. They're gonna, do this and that. They don't really believe in
No,
God
I get
because
it
they're
actually.
Muslims and bad stuff like that. It just they try to poison everyone's mind. So that's my
Oh, they
speech
do.
for
They do. Oh no, they absolutely. It's absolutely very very true. In fact, you really could just, if you wanted to
today.
define like what is a terrorist, you could just define that as other. By current standards. If
Yeah,
it is
yeah,
other,
I
it
do.
is it is the other.
Anyone or any entity or any group considered to be other than your group
Mm-hmm.
or your organization.
Anything outside of your profit margin is the other.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Brilliant.
Well, it's time for me I got to run to the office. It's that time again. I got
You
to go
actually run or
soon.
do you drive? Just
I
curious.
actually I drive. It's
Okay.
I could almost walk. In the summer, it's a little hard. It's only about 2-3 miles away, but in the summer it's a little bit. It's not that I couldn't walk, but it's just that you'd be, completely wet when you got there. You'd be because it's gonna be. It's probably, I don't know what the temperature's outside right now, but by the time I got there, it'd be probably in the high 90s or 100 degrees. So
Oh, I
winter
was
is
going to say,
not.
does it rain there? Now I know it's sweat. It's not rain.
Yeah, it doesn't really. I mean, it does. We have, monsoons here are pretty massive when we get them, um, but that's hit or miss in the monsoon season. So, it's a straight up desert. Yeah, it's the Sonoran Desert. So in the winter, which is starting to get here, our idea of fall is like the mornings are cool. I watch people around the country who are wearing jackets. There's like all this beautiful winter weather, but here it's just, I don't know. Our fall is like the 90s.
Wow.
It's like it's nuts. It's just straight up.
Amazing.
This it's a crazy place to live. It's not our end. It is not the end of our journey here. This is just a place we're at for a while. But yeah, it's insane. It's crazy. It's crazy. I admire the natives that actually. Well, actually, not even the natives. The natives, yes, of course, but also the settlers and such who came out here because to be here in Arizona, to get to Phoenix, which is, then of course there's the other mining towns that cropped up, and Jerome, Tupac, all these other ones. Like, it's hard to quite grasp without being here how far in the middle of frigging nowhere you are. Like,
Yeah.
Phoenix used to be a long way from nowhere. And if you're going west, it took you a long time to get to Phoenix. Then you had a long time before you ever got to, California going west. And um, the mail like the right down the street, actually, right. I could almost reach it from here. Is a Pony Express route, and there's an old
Wow.
trail, and I'm like, man, if you follow that out of town, you have to go very far. You'll realize, like, my God, I mean, and there's old ruins of old stagecoach stops and such in the desert, which you can 4x4 out to, and you can see those. And when you get out to those, and then you just stop there and sit, and you just realize, like, my God, these people were, were pretty damn tough people, because it was always hot as crap here. And you know I think you had to ride, like, I think between places that weren't really even places, but it was like about like 7 days ride to get to like where somebody else might be. I mean,
Wow.
and even then you weren't really anywhere. You really hadn't gotten anywhere. You just were where there was a few, maybe like a little mining setup. So it's amazing. It's amazing. There's a lot of untamed. I have great remorse for all of our land that's been paved, but there is still a lot of forest and a lot of desert here in the country that you can go into and be like, wow, this is what it used to be, really is, etc.
Yeah, just don't go into the superstitions by yourself.
We're trying to get a guy on Radiant Creators for an interview who is a longtime tour guide in the Superstition Mountains, and he doesn't go there by himself either. And he's got endless stories to tell about the superstitions, most of which are known, but he's a great storyteller. And so we're hoping to get him on because, we want to get out there sometime, at least skirt around the edges a little bit. But if you want to go in, you got to have a sense of adventure, both, physically and existentially, because
Yeah.
it's a powerful place.
Yeah.
Well, we're seeing some downside there now.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta.
Because yeah, it just needs to come down more. The 15 minutes is definitely bearish on this.
And that big wick there on that 5-minute
that big
candle,
red wick is just incredible.
That just wiped out everybody.
Yeah, top and bottom.
Yep.
Funny.
Darth Maul, get used to it. Yeah. That's how it. Yeah. Welcome to crypto trading. Well, anyway, yeah. Well, I gotta run. I will see you. I'll send an invite out for Tuesday and Wednesday, like I usually do. And if you can make it, great. If not, I'll just sit here and talk to everybody myself.
Okay.
All right. Well, take care. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Have a good day, Craig.